let you know that both of them got each other's back. They got each other's back. But what we're doing and what you said on your opening speech when you say that those have already made up their mindset not to adhere to the truth, they are also welcome, also including those that want to listen. And that is why I'm encouraging anybody that is watching this very program, and you know that you stand on the side of the truth, because calling a panel, it is the right thing to do. All you have to do is to share this very link. You know what I'm saying now? Go and join Mazi Kelechi on Biafra Global Network. If you don't want to come to Odinkema, because Odinkema give it to you the way it is, but maybe you want, go there, follow him, subscribe to him, click the share button, put it in the enemy's camp so that they can be able to listen to the critical analysis of what we are talking about here. So my brother, if you still have something to say, you continue before we take on, because we have other things to cover up here. Thank you very much.
All right, please let me just do this in 3-5 minutes, because we still have lots of people here to speak. I want to link it now, because everything we talk about here, of course, everything talking about the men, who are deprived, men who are suffering in the bushes, the people whom we are looking up to, because all about freedom. Freedom is about security, and that's it. We want to secure our land. We want to secure everything. So, everything rests on the shoulders of ESM. ESM was instituted by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and we cannot go.
I am going to come to that, my brother.
Yes. Now let me link. Okay, let me go. Yeah, let me go away from there now. Let me link it to what happened, what Simon posted yesterday, on Twitter, where he was linking the issue of funds. When he now said this is the reason why he has not, he doesn't respond to us. Now Simon came all out when we were calling him for a private meeting to discuss as professionals. We sent him a letter. We told him to come indoors. Let's discuss. He came to the public to.
I'm also going to come that. I'm also going to come to this very point that I'm talking about.
All right. Thank you. That's all for now.
Prince, please, we need you because are you there, Prince?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. There's something that you said on that very program, because always I like to make the reference on this program Ambrose Kelechi anchored. If you have not watched it, it was on the 15th of March 2023, which the title is IPOB Autopilot has been corrupted. In fact, it doesn't say IPOB Autopilot. The title there is IPOB has been corrupted, but Biafra must be restored. Prince said that this is like a teaching that I want you to elaborate and teach our people, because it's also going to help on freeing the mindset of the people. You said a complex combination of tsunami. And because some of these grammars, you have to break it down to most of our people. Much grammar. You said that a complex combination of tsunami, like factors beyond human comprehension and human control, will bring about Biafra restoration. Can you please enlighten us more on this very teaching, because I call it a teaching? Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving me that opportunity. Yes, it's a complexity of tsunami-like, dynamics that will bring about Biafra. In fact, part of it is what Simon is doing now, okay? Don't forget that our enemies are going to play a role. The saboteurs, the criminals who play a role. Those who hated us most. Don't forget that when Biafra comes, after acknowledging Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we must acknowledge Buhari, because Buhari's role in arresting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in 2015 was what actually lifted the struggle to a different height, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had operated all along during Jonathan, and Jonathan actually didn't do anything until Buhari thought he was doing the worst for Biafra, but he did not know that that was what opened up the whole thing. So it is going to be a combination of tsunami-like, a combination of factors, and it will hit us like tsunami. That means it's going to be out of anybody's control. Nobody can control a tsunami when it comes on. People can predict it. People can analyze it. People can plan what they're going to do. But when it comes, everybody vacates and stands by until tsunami does what it does naturally. And that is what is going to happen with this Biafra thing. And that's why I keep saying to Biafrans, don't panic. Don't worry about all these silly propagandas and blackmail. Judge things based on facts. When Simon said to you, I have a legal firm, I have lawyers working for me, and then suddenly he was asked, who funds you? And he could not tell the interviewer, I have a legal firm. He couldn't repeat what he said to Biafrans, even though he had blamed other people of being career agitators. And then what he says was things like, oh, my organization, Biafra funds my organization. Okay, why not add that you are a lawyer, as you told Biafra, and that you have partners working for you? That shows you a criminal mind that thinks they are smart. That tells you everything you want to know about Simon, okay? About this little child who is now playing with a machine gun. We have to call a spade, otherwise you're not a Biafran, okay? Don't worry about all the stupid nonsense they are doing. Now, I am telling you that where we are, and why I'm going to summarize by saying this, where we are right now is where we need to now define this Biafra and then show people the way to it, okay? First of all, I want to make it clear. All I want from Biafra is for Biafra to be here and for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be released unconditionally. The other thing I would ever want from Biafra is to make an offer of what I would love to do with Biafran children, particularly the kindergarten, the primary school, because I want to see their mindset changed. Because if we change their mindset, you won't have some idiots who will call people criminal without saying what criminal means, because they don't even understand what criminal means, okay? You won't be having people who can be bribed with money, people who are worshiping money other than the God that created the tree, the linen, the cotton that is used to make money, okay? So you won't have that. So when we now deal with that, and it's going to be an offer, I'm not mandating Biafrans, only if Biafrans want me to offer that and do that. And it's going to be free of charge. Let me make it clear. The only thing I will require will be to make sure that I am facilitated to do this technologically and otherwise. In terms of what my deliveries, nobody's going to pay me for that. I don't need the money. I don't need that. Okay? It's a free of charge thing. I would need people in the technological realm to connect me to all the primary schools and wherever so I can do that work, because we need to change the mindset of our young ones. These grown-ups are already fixated. Some of them have gone mad in the process, so they don't even know what they're doing. So you can't change adult personality. So I wanted to make that very clear. So now I need to define Biafra so you understand, okay? And you can see the difference.
So before you continue the definition, when you're making promises,
yes,
more especially up and thing where no, go say because I remember you say that you don't need to watch, or you don't. I mean, you don't need to go and get just a video. You don't. You just once it listing or banyanisi. So now that you made it, you made this very promise. But
I've been consistent in saying that if you watch everything, and I don't want it missed. That's why I keep re-echoing it. And I can't, because I mean, if at this age you're not thinking about what happens to your future generations, then you might as well sign off. Because what is it that you haven't eaten? What is it that you haven't seen? What is it? And people fixate themselves on earthly things that will fizzle away. These are transient things. So that's why we have lost the road. And that's why people are perpetually idolatrous in behavior. They're worshiping money. They're following. God God have mercy. Anyway, I want to define this Biafra so we understand. And then we can also understand why Simon Ekpa is a total lunatic. And I want him to copy this one and always he's a total lunatic, because I've seen total lunacy in his behavior. And of course, I would recommend that he goes and checks himself out, because this is not how anybody with sane mind behaves. Now, even though in Biafra, Simon is welcomed, everybody is welcomed. Let me tell you what this Biafra is all about, so you know. And also you would understand where we are coming from this time around. Biafra is a nation. Biafra has no business in excluding or including anybody. You are a Biafran once you are born to a Biafran parent. You are a Biafran. Biafra, and I thank God I played a part in the drafting of Biafran Constitution. If by the grace of God, that is the Biafra Constitution that we will have in the end of the day, you will find that the Biafran's Constitution has everything that is needed to deal with all Biafrans. So when Biafra comes, everything you have done will be judged by the Constitution, because our Constitution is not going to be dealing on hearsay or all this nonsensical, delusional mob rule. I pay you, you go and do that. Look, Biafra we have is going to encourage whistleblowers. You have 3 strikes and you are out if your whistleblowing is not yielding results. But we will protect whistleblowers, because we're going to pursue every lead they give us. And until we are sure that we can bring to court verifiable evidence to prove a case, nobody can be found guilty of what they have not done in Biafra. We are going to be that thorough. So,
all right.
I'm coming, please, if you don't mind. Perhaps after this, because I'm so, you won't believe how there are things I'm juggling, but if you can allow me. Now, I wanted to make sure that Biafrans understand that we are going to run an all-inclusive government. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Everybody will play a part. You will be only dealt with by the Constitution, depending on what you have done, what you have said. And it's going to be done through proven evidence in court. No other place will find anybody guilty. Now, I want to deal with Simon's little behaviors that are now worse than DOS and everybody he has criticized. You see, we are now in the business of Simon thinking that he has what it takes to sack people from IPOB.
I am coming to that, sir. I have a question for that.
You won't let me finish this, please, would you?
Of course, you are going to. I have a question for that. Especially that is a part of the statement that you
throw
made.
that question so I won't forget my train of thought, please. Are you able to?
I don't think that you forgot. You're not going to forget. I'm going to bring it. I have it for you. The line that you are going, please.
Okay. All right.
Because the question that I ask you is about a complex combination of
have I dealt with that? Have you understood it?
Yeah. And part of it is this, that Buhari is also part of that complex combination, which also he boosted this very movement. And then whatever Simon, it doesn't matter if the person is against the struggle or in the struggle. It means that any role that each and every one of us are playing here, it's also going to help us. Exactly.
Autopilot. Yes, thank you.
Autopilot. Does anyone also want to make a contribution based on this very point before we go to Chidozie and Ife, because they just joined this very program right now?
Should I say something concerning yesterday, what someone posted yesterday? Oh.
Please, maybe if you don't have anything to say on this very question, then if I throw a question to you, then you can make a combination.
Okay.
Please. All right. Fact Trace TV, do you have anything to say? on this
No.
fact combination. All right.
Yeah.
Mazi Chidozie, you are welcome to the program. And this very question goes to you. You said that accountability and transparency, it's a way of helping oneself. Meaning that, let me put it exactly the way you said it. You talked about accountability and transparency. And according to you, you say holding oneself accountable, meaning that we want that very person to succeed. Take the floor, please.
I think he is not here.
Unmute yourself.
I think he has left. What we have is front page TV now. I think he's left. Something.
Okay. Can you take on this, please?
Question, please.
Or should I repeat the question again?
Yes, please, if you don't mind.
Okay. Chidozie made a statement on that very program both of you anchored on the 15th of March, 2023. He said that holding oneself accountable, meaning that you want to help that very person. And one have to be truthful to himself, holding himself accountable. Now, when you have a group of people trying to hold ones accountable, it means that we want that person to succeed. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. For example, like, when Asuka said that she is a rich woman, you understand? As a rich woman that you are, you should have done the right thing. You should have, done things to be transparent. Because now you said you're a rich woman, but you are giving us, we are now having, there's a room for us to be doubting your richness. There's a room for us to be doubting you that you are really indeed rich, according to her. Because if, for example, from the beginning, that we all agreed that this is going to be like this. So what you should have done.
Are you talking about richness in terms of wealth, or you're talking about richness
in terms of wealth? Because that's what she's projecting out there. That's what she's projecting, that she is a rich woman, that she has money, so that she doesn't need a Biafra. She's not taking any money. She doesn't need Biafra money. That's what she's projecting. So I'm trying to make her to understand that she, being a rich woman, according to her, that she's rich. What she should have done from the beginning is to not add her husband to the account at all. She should have done it, but I kind of realized that the account maybe belongs to her husband. That's why there's no how they can, because she should have done it from the first place. It was a big red. It's like a red light. Red. You should have done it from the first time, because you know that people will be raising eyes. If anybody hear about it, they will say, wow, how did that happen? How can that happen? Why did you let that happen? She should have done it. Anything about this account, she and her husband wouldn't have been part of it as a leader, as somebody that is leading Umada, or maybe, she's part of Umada. She should have been involved. But because she said that transparency is very, very important, very, very important. Now the question is, everybody is asking, you said you're a rich woman, you're wealthy, why would you have to, there's a loophole, why do you have to let this loophole? Why is it this loophole? Because assuming from the beginning that everything was done right, this issue will not be coming up now. I am telling you. Assuming from the beginning that she added other Umada that we even suggested and said, does it mean there's no other Umada that is America? But she said, no, there is none that is following us. But later we find out there are some that are following us. So that should have been, she should have let this loophole there at all from the beginning. She should have thought about it. Even Mazi Simon should have thought about this as well, because there's no any person with a right thinking will say it is very wrong. There's nobody that will say it is a right move. Anybody that hear about it is a very, very wrong. We shouldn't have done it from the beginning. But because she, I don't know, she pushed it to us, and then we said, okay, let us keep going. That is if that is how we are going to go. But because she said that Umada will have access. Do you understand? Because of the access, because we question, we say, why would she have to have her husband there first? But she said Umada will have access. So for that, we say there is no problem. Let us continue to go. So, but that is the issue here. In every organization, there must be a transfer. I haven't seen an organization where a husband and a wife will run that organization. Like organization like ours, not company, not like business but this organization that has different people coming together. I haven't seen such happen at all. But because we don't want to, we just we want to keep going. That it just happened that we just want to, because it was an agreement that we're going to have access, or we're going to have statement of account. So we just said that's no problem. Let's keep going. But at the long run, you see, statement of account was not issue at all. So everybody started doubting me from the beginning. I never doubted them. Even when some of the Umada was telling me, if you open your eyes, even when all these things were going on, it took me time for me to say something is wrong. You understand? So that is the thing.
Yeah, my mother to get my son of getting me. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, Chidoze, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, I'm driving. I have to be I'm on the road. So, combination of my national and everything on this. I didn't hear what I've been called a couple of times, and I couldn't respond. Thanks for all those that have spoken.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
To answer that
If
question,
or they are rich as
issue
a
about
claim,
accountability.
why would they allow this loophole? And also, why would she put her husband in the account, which according to what I heard, which if anybody had the clarification on this to tell the Biafrans, and what I heard and said that Madam Azuka joined this very movement, think about 2 months or 3 months before Onyin Mazen Namdekano.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
That she joined this very movement 2 or 3 months before Onyin Mazen
2 months before, yeah.
I have a few minutes to speak. If not, I'll
which
have to log off.
I'm not going to judge her on this because but talking about the position, putting her husband and using a personal account that belongs to the husband, that's a big question mark. And also Kelechi making a suggestion to Simon Ekpa that there is a need for the Biafrans to have these corporate accounts in order to have. Okay. So I don't know if there's anybody who wants to say more on this very topic that I asked Ify in terms of accountability and transparent, that holding oneself account, meaning that you want to help that person, but you have to first of all be true and honest to yourself.
I think Chidozie wants to deal with.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
Let me
go
respond
on,
before I have to get off the exit. Let me respond real quick. Holding somebody ability, anybody in the civilized society, is actually an assist with the person that's in power. It's about keeping somebody honest. You're keeping somebody on their job by shoulder and asking questions. It's not seen as an affront. It's not a challenge to anybody's authority. It's something you must do when you're dealing with the public. If you're an ML when they ask you questions, you're honest. As a matter of fact, no matter how honest you are, if you decide to keep everything, you will. My mantra is that something has absolute power, because knowledge is power. And if you're the only one that knows the detail, then you will have all the power. And nobody can. And that power will corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolute. So these are the principles. To all those things. The BK, we know these things. That even Western societies took from our forefathers before Nigeria came, because we had a record to have a restitution, all one our history. But these are things that are part of our heritage, and they don't do it. So everybody has spoken brilliantly about everything and the ever and all these things. Mana is where the problem refused accountability from. They never intended we were there with. How can I say? How show us when comes home? Other people didn't read it through. They went with trust, and that's what you're going to get. You didn't lie, so people were not looking. The same thing our governors does. We don't pay attention to the governors. We sing praises for them. All those ones, and then they go and sell us to Janja. You see how this is for Europe, but putting in the zoo to sell, and when they have holding their leaders to work, leading for a ride, that are allowing this thing to happen. Happened with the Nanya, it happened with DOS, it happened with all it will keep happening. Also, it will keep happening. This is not enough for this to be about OPECA. For this to be this is about trying to be free, trying to belong in the ranked nations, to leave the zoo. It is that funny thing. If you name whether you will or you will, bring it up. See, Simon and Azoka accountability means it's already implied your guilt is already because you don't want to be held accountable. Accountability is the crime. And then what has he done? Is also Simon steward of that money Biafrans then, what he did to ESN with money. What you guys know, he used to buy them, he's divided them, basically set the ESN up to start fighting each other. That from jump, he didn't listen. He goes, that money is supposed to be part of your sacrifice to bring together already sacrificed. You're supposed to bring it in here, not to come and say, I'm about Gagi. Because was present or absent. He gave them standing orders to put taking our land. That's the command. Simple. You don't need some people and then say, no more about Gagi. And then give you different orders. How you know? So this from top was about and so many of them, some people got corrupted, and then those that did not want to go by that believe that Mazinam following his directives is what they are there for, then you start to punish them. So Biafran should know that presents a clear and present danger. Ordering loyal to you to that command. It's as bad as it gets. So also say, don't leave him alone. Leave him alone. Are you sure he's doing it? Able to what he told you in your ESN, the money he's doing it. You don't know what the amount. How you going to now? And will anytime somebody in the Zoe Fora, it's Biafrans need to listen. These are of others. We don't bow to emperor. So this is down to being Biafra is about. So all psychophancy is intellectualness. If you want to use your own brain, you don't want to involve. Yeah, everybody shut up. Like Biafra. I have to be
all right.
Keep him accountable. Keep anybody accountable. That is the point. They won. I'm out.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We are coming to you, Mazi Kelechi, and what we are trying to talk about here is about the issue of currency. You said that after finding out that Dr. Ngozi Orabeze is an agent of the Nigerian government, which they use to sponsor Simon Ekpa in this very struggle, that instead of Simon Ekpa to look into it, to investigate, rather, you were moved from Ududuwa and the Biafran alliance by the same lady, Dr. Ngozi Orabeze. I want you to take it on and then connect it with when you also made a statement that when things gone wrong, that you try to set things right by inviting Mother Simon Ekpa to a meeting so that these things can also be talked about. Because if I want to run Kagwala Nime, get an all look can boge lose coca, I chose a caponia and okwe. Biko, the floor is yours. And connect it with the currency, please.
Thank you so much for that. I want Biafrans to understand something here, that what we're doing here is critical to setting a template and a foundation for our nation. I can see so many comments coming in. I can see Tina Martinsos, you actually have taken it up to be insulting people, calling people fools. I know you're a mature woman. I thought you are reasonable, but I'm surprised at your comments here. You see people who are gathered like this and you're calling them fools when you don't have details of what is going on. And I want to tell Biafrans, if you operate this way, then it simply means you're not ready for Biafra. Because if you see people who are here, whom you know have been talking all this while, intelligent people in their own levels and all of that, and you still come here to insult them because they are talking about transparency and giving accounts, and then you are here insulting them, then you are not ready for your freedom. But I'm just saying, Tina, you are abusing people, insulting people. As your age, you think that you can call people fools and all of that. But that's not the reason why we're here anyways. I just addressed you because I thought you were reasonable.
Please, Mazi Kelechi, just go to the question and
yes,
forget about it.
Now the question here is this. You talked about the currency, and when I said that their faces, when I brought the issue out, when I brought it to the...
No. That is the reason why that the commentators, some of them are here in order to distract us. I say that when you find out that Dr. Ngozi Orabeze is an agent of Nigerian government,
yes,
sponsoring this very movement through Simon
yes.
Ekpa, instead of Simon Ekpa to look into it, rather you were removed from a group of Ududuwa and Biafran alliance by the same lady.
Yes.
And then make a connection with what transpired. First, want to have these details, and then with the currency. Thank you.
Okay. Now the currency thing is something I've talked about over and over. You know, when they had that meeting to actually put their faces on the currency. Now I want to make Biafrans understand the value of currency to any economy and any nation. The strength of a nation is in the military, but the economic strength of that nation is actually what positions the military, or the strength that sums up the totality of the strength. That's why today in America, you can talk about the strength of America as resident in the hands of the military, at the same time with the economy of the nation. And when you talk about currency, you are actually talking about a cynosure that projects the image of that nation. That means the economic strength of that nation. And when you talk about faces on currency, then you must get very careful so that you don't destroy, especially in our system that is so porous, because the Biafra system, we have had this distrust, we have had this enmity, we have had these problems within us, where those in the coastal region think that the Igbos, according to how they call them, whereas they are also Igbos, They actually think that those ones have ulterior motive, which of course we know is the Fulanis that have fueled this thing over time. And they think that they have ulterior motive. They actually want to, make us believe that we're not one. And so when you bring the issue of currency and you begin to talk about putting the faces of a particular set of people without the consent and the general agreement of the people, you are going to disrupt the whole thing. The reason why I went against the issue of their faces on the currency and I told them that is because we know that we are trying to position or revitalize the fragile relationship we have amongst us based on the fact that Fulanis have actually destroyed this. We're actually trying to correct that. Now, when I went against that currency thing, the next thing that happened was that I was removed from the Biafra and the advisory board by Mr. Emmanuel Maduabon. And I questioned him on that, which until now he has not given me the reasons why he removed me from there. Even if he told me he was going to go back to the committee and the committee, even if that decision they made was on that their group they formed, the G5, he still removed me from the advisory board. That was when, after I said that we will not accept this, it's not going to be possible because you want to destroy what we're doing. Now, he removed me there and I questioned him and he said he was going to go back to get the information, which means he never knew why I was removed. He had to go back he just removed me without knowing why I was removed, and he had to go back to get information. Until now, he has not brought back the information, about that. And now, also along the line, after 2 days or so, Ngozi, who was being, we have evidences that she's actually working with the Nigeria government and working for the betterment of Nigeria, and also working to strengthen the so-called democracy of Nigeria, sponsoring Fulanis in their northern region to get positions, House of Representatives and all of that. Is also, yes, State House and all of that. She was sponsoring all of that, and she still, could actually remove me from the Oduduwa Biafra Alliance. Now that sets a dangerous precedent, which means that if somebody who is, seen as important by somebody who is in position goes wrong or is discovered to be in error or criminality, the person who is in position secures that person against the person who is blowing that whistle or the whistleblower who is actually exposing that person. And that becomes a very dangerous precedent, because if we are going to get Biafra and we build Biafra on that kind of template, it simply means that Biafra will soon be overrun. Because if we have people working with the enemies and we're able to reveal that this person is working with the enemies, what you are supposed to do is set up a panel, which I told them to set up a panel. And when we had the meeting, I stated it clearly that a panel should be set up. In fact, along the line, when Azuka saw that I was going to come out to broadcast, when I've already typed it and started circulating that I'm coming out to expose Ngozi Oreboze, that was when their calls began to come. In fact, she called Pastor Emeka and trying to appeal to him so that we don't go live. And that was when she decided to have a meeting with us, trying to manipulate her way through our minds by her strategy. She told us she was going to go set a time with Simon to discuss with us. That was when she decided to come in, when she saw that we wanted to go live. She never said anything about the whole thing. When Pastor Meka was trying to analyze the things initially, the day before, when Simon came all out to do what he did, she actually was sending messages for him to stop. And the next day, when we now decided to go live, they were calling me. I was not picking. And she cannot call me anyway. Azuka cannot call me because she knows she can't call me. So she would call Pastor Meka and told Pastor Meka to that she's going to come. And then she came into the meeting. Somebody say lie. People are funny. So that was when continue. And when she came to the meeting, she now told us and told us, yes, she came into the meeting. She came and said she wants to have a meeting with us. So Pastor Meka called that meeting, and she came in, brought her in, and she said to us that please, that she needs to set a meeting with, with Simon, so that the next day we're going to meet. The next thing I saw that they actually had another meeting that same night, and the elderly men who can be Azuka's fathers and mother, and Simon's fathers and mother, she came there and insulted her parents because they are old enough to be her fathers and mother. She came there and insulted them and talked to them rudely and went away. And I came the next day when I was told that. I think Gaddafi was not also in that meeting because Gaddafi was also in that meeting. Gaddafi himself was trying to make everything, when he sees a situation, he wants to come in and take an advantage in that for himself and gain credibility for himself. And as at that time, Simon was no more picking his calls and all of that. So he was looking for an opportunity to actually access Simon again. So he saw this when Pastor Emeka brought him into the whole thing. He saw it as an opportunity for him now to try to. That was when Prince now told him, "You seems you're a double agent." Now, because he has been caught red-handed, he now quickly went, his head blew and he just went crazy. And then he now turned to blackmail, and all of that, and started saying all he's saying. Now, when she came for that meeting, when we had the meeting the next day, and they told me about that, I told them, I said, I knew that Gaddafi was going to be recording me that day. So I said to them, I said, I wish I was in that meeting when Azuka came to talk to you people rudely.
You mean that
one word and she would get out of that meeting?
Was not who
I would have told her.
The
purpose of that meeting was she just called for that meeting that night because I don't know whether she's targeting the time because she knows that, and as at that time, maybe I may not be around in that meeting. I know because she'd always don't want to face me on any particular matter. And I'm saying it open, let her come out to challenge me on that, And so now she now came in that meeting and abused them and insulted them and walked away. And then the next day now, they now brought her again to the meeting. She was supposed to give us a report. Now she came with a subtle, soft voice and was telling us how, you see, she has gone to meet Ngozi Orabueze and made investigation. I was so mad. I say, you go. We are talking about a nation here. And an allegation brought about somebody who is an agent of Nigeria. And for you to go and meet Simon, according to what we agreed, go and meet Simon and get a time so we can discuss. But she only came not to tell us about a meeting. She now came to tell us about how she personally went to make an investigation. And to tell us that she has made her investigation, sorry, and by her investigation, she has found out that Ngozi is innocent. And that Ngozi is not a Nigerian agent. And I was crazy.
Before you go,
I said, okay. Yes.
Please, I want to tell Biafrans that are watching, I personally made an exposition against this very woman that we're talking about.
You mean the genuine Biafrans? Because there are some fools here.
Yeah, we have some Fulani agents here. Fulani blood.
Yeah, the genuine Biafrans. So I made an exposition, and the title of that exposition is Exposing Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, the mole in IPUB Autopilot Executive. She is a die-hard Nigerianist that want Nigeria to continue as a country. She is currently sponsoring 2023 election in 36 states of the zoo, Nigeria, and also at the top of executive of the Biafra movement. Has a part 1 and also part 2. So you can also go there and see everything there, the explanation that I made. Continue, my brother.
She told us that she has made her investigation and Ngozi is innocent. And I told her, this is unacceptable. This is border dash. We were expecting you to understand that this is a nation. What is supposed to be done is set a committee, not you. Who are you to go and tell us you made a personal investigation, to come and tell Biafrans to take your investigation? Just like when you have a crime in a nation and somebody commits a crime and then it's going to be an investigation and then somebody just jumps out from somewhere because they have, just comes and tells you that I have made my personal investigation about this matter. So the nation should close down. Nobody should talk about this thing in this nation, in this country, because I've made my personal investigation.
It is terrible. Kelechi, sorry, Kelechi. Yes. Are there other medias available when she came to make that information?
Oh, it was between I was there, Pastor Emeka was there. I have the recording. I recorded it because I know she's also she always records people, which Pastor Emeka told her that day, and she was shocked. She actually told Pastor Emeka that her phone is automatically recorded, so every information about when she discusses with people, she records them.
All right.
So I actually recorded her because I know she's a criminal. She would definitely be recording me. So I made my statements very clear and told her there that this is unacceptable. I have the records. So if she wants to debunk it, I'll come and play it out here, And when she saw that this thing is, this when we were coming and we were resisting what she was saying, she now pretended. Of course, I know her method. She has been doing it before now, even during the autopilot media. She always want to give us impression that she's very busy. And when she's talking, she just tells you she's very busy. In fact, she's just leaving one meeting now. She has not slept for the past 2-3 days, and she wants to, and all of that. And then suddenly she moves. I know her, her approach and idiosyncratic approach. So I was expecting her to do that day, and we all laughed when she said that and told us that in fact she's very busy and all of that. We all laughed. Pastor Emeka laughed, and we all laughed because we knew that's what she was going to do, and she walked away because we were now asking her critical questions. She didn't want to answer, and so when we did all of that, and she walked away, and that was the end. Up to today, that was the end. And that was how the whole matter ended. So what we were trying to do is critically to put things right. I just wonder, I know that most of, just like my brother was saying yesterday when we were discussing, that's fact news. He was saying something yesterday. He said that when Biafra comes, we're going to have enough DNA. We have a lot of work to do. Lots of people will be, we have to check their DNA. Because when you observe what people say, sometimes you begin to wonder, is it that our people don't want transparency? Is it that our people don't want things to be done right? Is it that our people just want things to go wrong and just want, they just want Biafra struggle, just go on and no accountability, want to build a nation on, somebody comes up and there's a dangerous precedence to be set by setting people's faces on currency, which was a wrong design. And you come to talk about it and somebody tells you, no, why should you be talking about that? The men on ground.
Please, Kelechi, sorry. Please, Kelechi, sorry. Has Simon come out to debunk this allegation of their faces in the currency?
No, he has not. Rather, he came out to talk about how criminal we are and how we should not, how people should just not listen to us.
But I listened to him. He has never narrated what you guys stolen. Why calling Madam Ifi and other people criminal when they have not explained what they have stolen? Simon needs to come out and explain to us, Biafrans, what these people you are calling criminal have stolen from you. This is the fact.
The fact news, I love the fact news. I love what you have just said, and my brother Odinkemma, I thank you so much. Kelechi, I want to give you thanks. I want to reveal something to you because we are psychologically in tune. Something, and I want you to note it down and always remember this. Remember, we must defeat them all. It doesn't matter how many they are. We are fighting against, look, before, remember what it took Simon to fight against one person, Nelly, okay? And what Nelly organized around her and how long it took, okay? And with the combination of forces from everywhere. I want you to understand what we are dealing with right now. Why you're seeing all these comments, you're not dealing with Simon alone. You're dealing with Azuka's agents. These are paid people. They are paid by Nigerian money. They are paid by Biafran money to be here talking rubbish. So it's not just Azuka masking herself with her agents coming here to talk rubbish. So you know. It's also Ngozi Olaboeze and her agents masking themselves to come here to talk rubbish. So it looks as if Biafrans can't understand. No, genuine Biafrans understand. So I want you people to calm down. We know what is happening. Right. So it's not just them two. It's also Arewa and Co. They're all here with all kinds of fake names. There are also Nigerian agents working with Simon who are also here pretending to be Biafrans. So I need everybody to calm down. We have the psychology of these people sourced out. We know where we are going. And I've told you already that everything revolves on understanding. If you haven't understood something, you keep worrying yourself. So we must learn to ignore these people and continue to spill out the truth and keep going with the truth, because the truth is where God belongs. And it is God that will go with us to obtain this Biafra. It has to happen. Right. Nalikano has already told you only the truth. Leave these liars. Leave these people who would. And don't forget, it was Simon Epa who told you all that it is the criminals. Okay, and this was in reference to DOS, that first will call you a criminal. That is exactly what Simon, Azuka, Arewa, Orabueze, all of them, that is what they're doing right now. So you need to understand the psychology. so that you can operate within the confines of normality. I thank you.
Yes, I don't know whether I can just make this. Mazio Dikema, should I go on with this? Because I wanted to comment on the issue of yesterday. You know what Simon posted. You know,
yeah,
and
go on.
about,
Why
yeah,
I look
please,
for
let
the
me go.
video of where Dr. Ngozo Rabezo said that she is passionate about one Nigeria. Go on.
Okay. Okay, please. Now, some of you, most of people were commenting on a particular video that Simon cut from what Pastor Livingstone, you know, the analysis he gave yesterday. He posted a particular place where he wants the people to listen and then use it as a means of scoring a point. Now, remember, all this while we've been talking, he has not come to, rather than debunk anything we said, because we're waiting for him to debunk them, then let's bring evidences and proofs to him. He has not done that, which of course, whenever he wants to call people criminals and he has anything against to show that they're criminals, he comes to analyze, just like he did about Ejiofor, but rather he sends his e-frogs all around there, you know, to just come and abuse, insult, and call criminals, and we, you know, without evidences. So we understand those narratives. When you don't have evidence, you first, just like Prince said, you rush out to call people criminals before, you know, all of that. So now he posted that thing yesterday, and that man was asking Simon, he said, who is funding you and your organization? That was the question. Now, I want Biafrans to think, because we are Biafrans. That is why we are intelligent. I know that those who are commenting here, most of them, they have, whether their parents or grandparents are Fulanese. So there's a bad blood that flows in them that takes that Biafra spirit from them and takes their ability to reason properly, you know, away from them. So I'm talking to people now. I want to make it very simple so that they can reason. Now, that man asked him, that journalist asked Simon in that broadcast, he is indicting himself. The journalist asked him, he said, who is funding you and your organization? That means two things here, you and your organization. And if you observe the body language of Simon, Simon was just trying to, he was not comported in that particular broadcast, because if you see the next thing he said, after he said that Biafrans are funding my organization, he never mentioned him. He mentioned his organization.
And watch his eyes blink. You can see, yes, he knew yes, people will pick him up on that. Just watch the body movement. Yes, I
yes. And after he said that thing, the next thing he said, you see, people don't understand. The next thing he said does not quantize, does not go with what the question was about. Now the question is this: who is funding you and your organization? He said, Biafrans are funding my organization. Now that takes me straight to understand, or makes me understand, that what Simon is running is his organization, not
Kelechi, the faceless man who cannot show his face never said, yes, who is funding your organization. His exact word was, who is funding you? And then Simon said, yes, Biafran people are funding my organization. Right. So we are running Simon organization, not Biafra agitation.
Yes. So now, if you look at it now, you will discover that actually, if you look at the things that have been happening, you discover that Simon was actually, he knew what he was saying. One, ESN have been complaining, and he has not done anything about it. We have been calling him for meetings. He doesn't come. Now, Juliet and co were in trouble, even if Juliet left the shores of Nigeria before they sent that money to her. But yet he tells you that he funded Juliet. He gave him money as if the money was coming from his pocket. He talked about it. I don't want to talk about Victor because Victor has proven, I don't want to talk about Victor. I talk about Juliet. And he talked about those people, Juliet, whom he says that the money that was given was as if the money was coming from his pocket and Azuka's pocket. Now, the ESN, if you observe the things he says, I gave you money to buy. I did this, I did that. These are evidences that, and a proof and a justification to the fact that that particular question he answered and said my organization is actually correct in the light of what he is actually trying to do and doing. Now, if you also observe critically, you'll discover also that the ESN people who have been complaining, the men of the gallant men who have been complaining, have actually been put in a position where they have to be loyal to him and Azuka before they are supported. So which simply means that he is building his organization based on those facts. So when he says that Biafra people are funding my organization, he's actually telling you the fact, because there are obvious things on ground that proves that this organization is actually what that this organization is actually his.
Yeah, based on Simon ideology. Yes. If you are not loyal to Simon, you are kicked out.
Yes, because we have audio messages where Azuka is telling the people that if you don't tell me, I'm sorry, I will not give you anything again. and you have audio messages where she's, lots of things like that have to do with me. And of course, if you look at ESN right now, the last message the I made when he was talking about the other one threatening him, he said that he gave the guy money to go and buy some stuff and all of that, and he threatened him and giving him order. It's my order. Now, if you remember, according to Mazin Namekano, ESN is supposed to be on its own. It is not under the control of DOS. Neither is it under the control of IPOB. But here now, Simon is commanding the people that Mazin Namekano have put a structure, for them to operate, just like the military of a nation. They have a structure and they operate in that level. They are not, they have a way of operating, as the chief security officers of the nation. So now, if you look at that statement, who is funding you and your organization? It says, Biafrans are funding my organization. It didn't say our organization or Biafra. And remember, Biafra project is not an organizational thing. If you want to look at it in the context of Autopilot, Autopilot is actually a program that is in play, in which everybody brings what they have to make sure that things work out and all of that. But Simon has actually made us understand that it is actually his organization. And if you see when he started stammering after that, what he said next, you discover that he was actually trying to evade the question of me, who is funding you. But he has answered it in the context of your organization. And my organization, sorry, when he said my organization. So that's what I'm going to say that for now on that, in that regard. By when I'm going to have my personal analysis, I'm going to give more breakdown on this. So if anybody have to say, and Mazio already came on through. So go on, please.
Good evening, everyone. Since I walked in here, I've been listening. I've been observing every comment, but this is Kennedy Mogo. I want to say this to Biafran who are listening. Biafrans are wise and will have the most foolish among us also. I want to say this. If you don't accept correction, it means you are corrupt.
Please, you can go on. I think I'm having some audio problem. You can go on. When I come back, then I will hear what you say.
Okay. Biafrans must know what is going on. Leave your emotions out of this. We are trying to educate you from the point that you are ignorant of. So what is expected of you is to pay attention. Use your sense. Use your IQ to know the message we are trying to pass across to you. Because we are inside. You have been outside. So we're trying to inform you what will in turn truncate what Mazen Nandekala has put in place. And that is what Madam so-called Azoka and her husband is doing. Simon not able to accept the call the autopilot has called him indicates that he is aware of the corruption of Azoka, or he is collaborating with Azoka in whatever crime we are accusing her of. Azoka, if she cannot come to the air and clear the air, tell Biafrans, so amount was received, so amount was sent out, this is the balance. It will not stop us from reaching our destination. Biafrans want to know if Azoka is truly who she claimed to be. Azoka coming to the air to let Biafrans know that she's a rich woman.
I'm sorry to cut you short. Mazi Kelechi, I sent you the video of Dr. Ngozo Arabeze. Front page TV, please continue.
Coming to the air to tell Biafran that she is a rich woman. That is not what Biafrans are asking of. That is not what autopilot are asking of. What we are saying, the responsibility that was given to you, which you promised, that was your manifesto. When you try to convince the Omoada, when you try to convince Biafrans that in spite of what the shortfall we've had, that your manifesto is this, you are going to be transparent, you are going to be open, 2 months that you will account to Biafrans. If it is 2 or 3 persons that you are counting to, you are counting for to Biafrans. Those people will come to the air and tell, yes, this woman is transparent. She is who she claimed to be. But in this case, Madam Azuka, I want you to know that the setback we've encountered and all the failed promises we've encountered is you and Simon that is the cause of it. And Biafran should know that you are not transparent.
No,
because we have called you.
Kennedy, please. There is a beautiful quote that Prince made, and let me take it back again. And you know, this very program that we are doing is based on the program that both of you did on the 15th of March 2023. Okay. And that quote says, by the Prince, said, a complex combination of tsunami-like factors beyond human comprehension and human control bring about Biafra, meaning that whatever anyone that is doing, being good or bad, or even the one that Buhari did, we heard the word Mazen Namdekan said, that Buhari is going to give us Biafra, taking us to the next level. So there is no need to a kind of illiberal. It's part of the complaint, because I have to ask him, Prince, to give us more lecture on this, and you have to split it exactly the way it is. So I just want to hold you there, that everything is working for good. Ndeo.
Brilliant.
Can I just chip in something here?
Okay, go on.
Yeah, you know, all these things we are doing today and that we will continue to do, no matter what they say, will never relent.
Wonderful.
We all remain resolute. So
Right.
I just want to talk to Biafran people. You know, this whole scenario, the problem is the people.
Please put the speaker on the full view.
Thank you. The problem is the people. Not even we that are talking, not even the autopilot top officials that are piloting the autopilot agenda. Is the people. The people are the problem. I will go make a research more to bring out a law for our people to understand something. You know, in anywhere there are good. If the light is somewhere, the darkness always tries to come, but the light overcomes. They said where the good is, the devil always come to stay around. If the good build house somewhere, the devil will come to build his own house close to him. So he will try his possible best to make sure he can destroy something. So there is a law called Manumission Law of I think 1840 something. I think so. Our people should go read that law. This law was made by the colonial masters, and this is what is holding all these third world countries down to today. What do that law mean if you go read this law from the beginning to the end? This is what we always say, what the Britain is using, divide and rule. That is one part of it. The other part of it is, during the time of slavery, the white people knows that black people are very intelligent. Most people know about the Igbo landing in America. I think something like that. So many people know about it, how they reacted, their behavior, that they can stand together. So what they did is they put up this law that they know we are very gullible, you know. That is why you see during the time of slavery, they gave some black people some power so they can use through those people to hold their own people down. So that is why if somebody If, as we are here today, telling people, pointing finger to what is happening in autopilot, and people are calling us criminals, calling us idiots, calling us all sorts of names, but can they reason that maybe the Nigerian government, that contraption, have set up somebody else, pay this person to come close to what we are doing to make sure they dismantle what we are doing? Can people reason? Don't people think, don't the Biafrans think it's possible? So let them go read this law. When they read this law I'm talking about, they will understand that something can go wrong anytime, any day, because the colonial master have putting these very things in place that we can never come together to achieve anything. That is why those of us that understand these things, when things are going wrong, we try to rise up immediately as fast as possible to see that we put that very thing at stop, that it doesn't move forward to destroy what we are fighting for more. This is why we are all here today. So if we don't get it right today, the same thing as Chidozie always say, we still continue to happen. So the Biafrans should know, as we are here today, we are not calling on them to come and listen, or we are not begging them to come and follow us, but we are just trying to tell them, even if we are the people that tomorrow we are the people piloting the affairs of the restoration of Biafra, they should also know that we are open for them to hold us accountable. Anybody can ask questions. Anybody can come hold us of anything they feel that is not going right. But we are doing the same thing today, and people are labeling us criminals. So I don't know where these people are trying to go.
My brother, don't go there, because Biafra must be restored. There. Just because you could be to Anua or the cast now,
I thought I've already reassured you on that.
Mazi Kennedy, I wanted to ask you this very question. Even though the explanation of this complex combination explained by Prince supersede everything, but I'm just going to read it. You said that, which you reminded the Biafrans, one of the prophecy of Wenyen Damazin Namdekano said that we are not going to get the Biafra through by telling lies or deceit. Which Prince also made it, he made a point about the definition of criminality: lie, deceit, and killing. Now, coming down to Prince, I said I'm going to come down to this, your definition that you wanted to talk about before. You talk about a new definition of insanity. Insanity. That if anybody or group of people as a Biafra believe that, or think that, or assume that one or group of individual is going to get us Biafra and take the glory that are meant for Chukwu Kabiman. Can you please give us more enlightenment on this? Because I said I'm going to come back on this definition.
You're a very clever student. you pay really attention. You're a true Biafran. A true Biafran is one who doesn't just look at things and just go away.
Now you could be Ganiru.
No, I'm not praising you. The most important thing is for you to acknowledge what you're doing so that all the Biafrans will begin to mimic you, because that's exactly what you're trying to do. Where you have people who read things and they can't absorb what they have read or ask questions based on what they have read, then you have to give credence to one who does, so that you encourage others to do so, because that's the whole essence of going to school. Now, that was wonderfully highlighted. I want to repeat it so people understand. It is insane. It is actually insanity for anybody to think that Biafra is coming from one individual, one group, or a group of individuals, anything that a man can easily understand. That's insanity. That means you did not understand the true message of Mazin Nandekano when he told you that Chukwu Okike alone will give us Biafra. And it is a combination of all the efforts of everybody, including Britain, including Fulani. Don't you understand? Don't you have spiritual insight to understand what it means? So it is everybody. That's why we say everybody's on autopilot. All right? Go and check it out any day. You will know that you could never produce result by positive alone. Nothing would spark by negative alone. You need a combination of negative and positive for there to become a spark. So it is these various forces. So you look at a little boy called Simon, whose spirit is already infiltrated by the devil, not just once, but multiple times. And you're hoping, and he's promising you, in 150 days, Biafra will come. Just watch what we have on the ground. In fact, I remember that interviewer, faceless interviewer, as our brother referred to, asked him, so what are you going to do? He says to him, look, there'll be no election. And I'm saying it because of what we have on the ground. My dear, on that day, I paid attention. I said, no, I'm going to see what it is we have on the ground. And do you know that I saw nothing on the ground? Everything that I was told never happened. So then you begin to ask, who is the criminal? Because don't forget that a liar is a criminal. The whole premise of criminality revolves around lying. You couldn't be a criminal without being a liar. And a liar is somebody who says something that never materializes. And once you lie once, you use another lie to cover the other lie. A liar will continue like that. So when people talk about criminality, even in Biafra, we are going to give very new definition of all these things because Biafrans are smart people. We don't go by existing principles. We define things based on what we are seeing in practice. In fact, right now, the new definition of criminality is one who calls somebody a criminal without giving you a proof or an example. That is the true definition of a criminal. And in fact, Simon went along those lines. So there I rest my case today. I thank you.
All right, thank you. Master Kelechi, can you upload that very video or should I play it? Because Prince just made a very valid point.
Which one? Which of the video? Is it
Once
the one
you say something?
Wesley?
Yes.
Okay, let me.
Can you play it for us?
Let me play it. Should I do that now?
Okay. Yes, please do it now.
Ask you this. You mentioned earlier the challenges that Nigeria is facing. So my question to you is, what do you believe is necessary to turn Nigeria around? I know there's an election coming up soon, and young people are very, very excited about the prospect of a new leadership, or is it a new mindset? What do you think is so necessary to move Nigeria forward? Because it's a powerful nation and it's got to head in a different direction. What is your thought?
Thank you so much, Professor Owa, for that question. I'm very, very passionate about Nigeria. I'm very, very passionate about Nigeria. I'm very, very passionate about Nigeria. And I've played so many roles. And I've played so many roles. And I've played so many roles in different areas to make sure that we are moving towards the right path. That may not be the opinion of other people. That may not be the opinion of other people. That may not be the opinion of other people. But from experience and from what is going on in Nigeria, I think the solution to make Nigeria a great nation has been on the board for years. It has been mentioned both in private studies, but in public studies, and it is out there in the public domain. We have several reports from past experiences, things that happened during the amalgamation of Nigeria in 1914, what happened in 1967 to 1970, some of the private reports by the American surveys about where Nigeria is going, like in 2030 and stuff like that. All these are in the public domain. As far as the making Nigeria a great nation and what needs to be done to make sure that Nigeria does not collapse. As far as the making Nigeria a great nation and what needs to be done to make sure that Nigeria does not collapse. Making Nigeria a great nation and what needs to be done to make sure that Nigeria does not collapse. Making Nigeria a great nation and what needs to be done to make sure that Nigeria does not collapse. The trajectory that Nigeria is on right now is there's a very, very high chance it's going to collapse.
This is the woman that Mazi Kelechi was making reference, Dr. Ngozi Orabeze, whom is the MO in IPUB Autopilot Executive, one Nigerianist, sponsoring this very struggle with the money given to her by the Nigerian state in order to get information, in order to get locations of our Eastern Security Network. That is to say that if any way that you see an attack on Eastern Security Network, these are the people who got this very information, because they have to project millions of naira into the hands of Master Simon Eba. And I don't know who made a reference and analysis saying, I think Kelechi, he said that Simon always liked to deal with the people in his class because he liked merriment, and then also the people in the class. So the Nigerian government knows how to get him. So they have to send the kind of people that he wants. Because Nigerian government, as Onyen Nnamdi Kanu said, has spent billions of dollars to make sure that no negative news come out. Then imagine if they can just send one agent to penetrate and give like $30,000 or $50,000 to get information, because they don't want Biafra to come. Once Biafra, it means that the empire of British is collapsed. So now we have this lady that we just saw right now, which I encourage you to go to Mazi Odinkem and Kendele Mwachineke Facebook page or YouTube. You go and look for a program titled Exposing Dr. Ngozi Orabeze, the woman that I just listened right now, the Mo in IPUB Autopilot Executive. She's a diehard Nigerianist, which you just saw the video that we are doing. We just showed you right now. That she wants Nigeria to continue as a country. She is currently sponsoring 2023 election in 36 states of the Federal Republic of Damnable Zoological Republic of Nigeria. Also on the top executive of Biafra movement.
Yeah,
it has a part one.
Sorry.
Yes,
let me buttress what you said. She was on that board. I mean, she's still on that advisory board and the G5, and yet she was sponsoring this current election. Sponsoring this current election.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to say this so that those who are in the comment section will understand. Some of them are saying one thing.
That's what I'm saying. She's in the executive.
Yes, this current election, she sponsored people into the House of Representatives, House of National and State House in the North. And they were
I don't know if Mazi Kelechi, if I can comment, if I can remind you, there was audio, one of the House of Assembly, State Assembly aspirants or candidates on the background congratulating, asking people to appreciate Dr. Ngozi Orabeze.
Yes.
So if you can find that audio, you can play it to those gullible Biafrans so that they will hear and know that we are not passing a wrong message.
Yeah.
We are giving them what is on ground that is capable truncating what Nnamdi Kanu has put in place. So if you can play that audio so that Biafrans will hear it. Thank you.
And also for them to go and watch a full program against this woman, part 1 and part 2. This is a full program, 1 and 2, against this woman, and you are going to see a lot of evidences there. A lot of evidences. A woman that wants Biafra not to come. She don't want to talk about any issues of Biafra or there's any problem. She will be among the people that wouldn't want that very issue to be discussed. But then working so hard to make sure that Nigeria does not collapse. And this very interview that you are seeing right now, she has already joined this executive, the position that she is right now, and had this very interview with one lady in the United States of America. She don't have a big platform. You understand? But we try to make diggings and research to go and dig it out to present to Biafrans. If you have the audio, as he said, please play it.
Because
yeah, I don't
while
have it
he's
now,
looking for the, while he's looking for the audio, can I just tell you what I told Simon Eba? I think in one of the 3 occasions, I think it was only 3 occasions I've had the opportunity to be on the same platform with him. I told him that the day he got infiltrated by Ngozi and Nigerian agents was the day he came publicly to announce that he wanted Biafrans who can give $10,000 per month. You know that Nigerian agents follow even our what we are doing now. They are here. Okay, you should know that. If they are not here, the fact that Simon Eba and his agent, Azuka and his agent are here, and co, they get to know what we say and what we are planning to do. But the truth is about to defeat them totally, hands down. The truth doesn't mess about. So I told Simon that, look, the day you opened yourself up for people like Ngozi Oraboeze and Nigeria to penetrate was that day you made that broadcast asking Biafrans who can bring $10,000 a month. I know the psychology of Biafrans. Biafrans with such money made it through Nigeria, and they wouldn't even want to hear about Biafra. They are happy with the devil they know than the angel that's about to come. They love what Nigeria offers them. They will fight to keep Nigeria. Now, Biafrans abroad who have made such money, I can assure you, 99.9% of them wouldn't want Biafra. Why? I can tell you, the same illness that Simon is suffering is what majority of Biafrans with such money suffers. That illness of they want people to praise them, they want people to worship them. They are even unhappy where they live abroad because the type of money they believe they have, nobody is praising them and nobody is worshiping them. They like the Nigerian system where they can take such money and then suddenly they become lords. If they love women, they can have 20 in the room and have 40 waiting outside. If they love contracts, they'll have, if they love whatever they love, they can have. So I knew that. I knew that the only people that can bring such money, such 10,000, must be Nigeria and their agents because they want to penetrate in. That's what brought Ngozi Oraboeze. And if you check, Ngozi Oraboeze came much after that broadcast, okay? And in fact, it was when all these things were hitting up that I now found out, oh my God, look at even, I think I came into the Constitution Drafting Committee before Ngozi Oraboeze, and he was so persistent in trying to get Simon's number. So I wanted people to understand this.
Oh, she was persistent to getting Simon's number.
She was persistent. She wanted Simon's number at all costs. And she got her way. Now, I wanted you to know something, and this is coming as a warning, okay? as a warning to all Biafrans. And this is part of the reasons why we have decided, I personally, and I don't care, let it go out, they need to know that for the sake of not even me, nor this generation, for the sake of our future generation, we are out to go all out, whatever it takes to get Biafra. And I need people to understand that we're not playing anymore, no more games. And we're not going to be allowing little children or just anything to go and begin this nonsense. We no longer can do it. And the reason for this, for me, I want you to know today, and that's why I'm now using this medium to call on all the obedience, everybody that said they are obedient, and everybody with good conscience around the world to do whatever it takes between now and the swearing in to stop that swearing in. I'm saying between now and that swearing in date is a mandate, because I'm going to tell you what is going to happen if you fail. If you fail and this Tinubu is sworn in, you'll be faced with another 8 years of APC. Mark these words. And within those 8 years, Nigeria would have been Fulanized and Islamatized. I want you to note this very, very carefully. And that is why everything that has to be done must be done between now and that swearing in date. Otherwise, you miss it, you are in deep soup. Mark this date, save this tape. I hate to be a prophet. I'm not a prophet. I say things as they are planted in my soul. So that is the news I have for you. And I think that will conclude my contribution in this program today, unless I am mandated by the moderator. I thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. What you just saw on the stream is some of the people that Ngozi Orabeze sponsored. And if you do your investigation, diligent investigation, you are going to find out that some of them won that election. These Fulanis, if you go deep on investigation, you are going to find out that some of them won this election that we're talking about. Now, we are going to come very closely on the closing remark, and to end this very program, why we use, we can just use a 1 minute to deliberate on these issues, and this had to do with the collapse of the DOS in the issue of Eastern Security Network. And now that the person that called himself the spokesperson, which is Simon Ekpa, is now threatening the same ESN, just the way that China Samoro and co are calling names of the Eastern Security Network, giving out the locations of the Eastern Security Network created by Onyendo. The question now is, was it because that ESN life-threatening that made the DOS to collapse in the issue of ESN? And now that Simon Ekpa is doing the same thing that ESN, that the DOS did, which is also going to cause a big damage, causing a big damage as we are speaking now. Please, can take the floor, Madam Ifeoma Biko. And then just 1 minute or 2 minutes.
So much.
Then go around and then we close the program.
Thank you so much. Our people are so confused. I can't read what this Tina of a woman or whatever she's saying. She said you guys should focus on Ngozi and leave Mazi Simon alone. Tina, what did he call her name? Matrus or whatever. So do you think, didn't you realize now, are you not opening your eyes to see that Mazi Simon is surrounded with those that doesn't want our freedom? Can you see it now? And we that we even love him, we are now the enemy. We that we are trying to see that we save him from what he's surrounded by, we are now his enemies. We are now the one that is in trouble. We are now the one that is making trouble. You guys don't know nothing. You don't know anything.
Okay.
He's surrounded. Who are those people that surrounded him? They are confused. They are putting. I just pray that our people will open their eyes to see that I never hated him. That I want him to succeed. But those people that surrounded him, God have mercy. Now you are saying to us that we should only focus on Ngozi and leave Mazi Simon alone. Nobody is doing anything to Mazi Simon. We pray that God will open his eyes for him to see what he has ended into. You know, I just know that our people are so I don't know what to say to them, but all I want them to know that I love my people. I have been on this struggle for years, and I love my people to be free. And no matter whatever you guys are talking or anything you are saying, you cannot push me. Sometimes I feel like I need to give up, but I don't know what is compelling me all the time to say, if you can't give up, you can't give up, continue. If not, this time around, I'll say this people doesn't want me giving my time and giving my energy, giving my money, giving everything. It doesn't work.
If you still have about a minute and
I still have a minute.
seconds, issue of the DOS collapsing, ESN collapsing under the DOS, and now Simon Ekpa is doing the same thing by threatening the Eastern Security Network, which we have a voice here. I just sent it to Mazi Kelechi. If you can also play it after going round and around. So let us take on this very issue. Eastern Security Network scattered under DOS, Chinaso. And after every set and done, it is now fall on the laps of Simon Ekpa, the person that we call a spokesperson. He himself now threatening some Eastern Security Network. So I want us to deliberate on this.
Yeah, it's so sad because I don't know. Sometimes I don't feel like talking about all this because I feel like all the time crying. What has become of us? I feel crying all the time. But we shall overcome all this. With God on our side, because this is the Eastern Security Network that Mazi Nnamdi created, and these people, we know them. These people, I know that there are bad eggs in Eastern Security Network, but calling them criminals is unacceptable. And they are in the bushes. They are there. No food. If you see the kind of water they drink, sometimes they send me the water they drink too. They will take the picture and send me. I say, God, you guys are drinking this type of water? They say, yes. I say, oh God, this is not good. But so on all this, and we are still starving them. In all this, we are depriving them. We are depriving them feeding money. We are depriving them so many things, even tarpaulin, everything that they need. We are depriving it to them. Why? Azuka is my concern because she is the one that told me that we went to them and said, we are going to do this to you. We are going to provide you this. We are going to do that. But what is going on? Azuka is not doing what she's supposed to be doing for our people. And she went and said to our ancestors, we Umada will look after these people. Our ancestors have told our ancestors, my hands are clean. Look, go after Azuka because she's the one that promised that she would take care of them, but she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing. It is quite unbelievable that we are telling our people the truth and they think that we are making up stories. I'm not making up stories. All this is I'm saying to you is real. It is what is happening. I have all the evidences. I have all the things that they have been deprived. They have deprived them with so many things. The same thing that the US did to them, that is the same thing we are doing, even worse now. And this is not right. These people some of them, they say they are leaving. So if they leave, then who is going to fight this Fulani that they are already coming to our land? But you guys is not understanding what we are saying. You think that you guys think that, oh, we want to fight Simon. Nobody want to fight Simon. We want him to do the right thing. From the beginning, I always push and tell him, Mazi, do something. Maybe he doesn't want me to be pushing him any longer. That's why he decided to say, I don't want to be picking Madam if he calls any longer. Because I'm always the one to push him and say something has to be done, and he has to push Azuka. I always push him and call him and say you have to do something, and I give them bomber to bomber. You don't know what I've done, but you guys are just there talking trash. I don't blame you all. Say whatever you like, but what I know is that let your conscience. If you all have a conscience, let it judge you. Our men are suffering. They are suffering, and we are the ones that's contributing money to be given to them. All we want Azuka. If Azuka says there's no money, we want it from the beginning. Tell us how much we are raising, so I can be coming out. I'll be coming out and be shouting to our people because they believe many people are giving because of me. If you don't know, Many people say they are coming to give fundraising because of Madam Ife, because they trusted me. And I will be coming out to be shouting to them and telling them to give more, please. Our men, we don't have much. But in this case, she refused for us to know, even as we agreed that we don't want to know. So it's her husband. Everything is about her. Account in Nigeria is about her. Fundraising is about her. Everything is about Azuka. And I'm saying, I'm shouting. I bet you guys will not listen. I have tried my best. I have done my best. If you guys continue, don't listen. But remember that one day you guys will say, Madam Ife told us this thing. That's my own.
So Madam Ife, sorry. So they are not giving you full account of...
Please. Watch Neke, because you ask her a question, each and every one of you. Ken, please, sorry, not Ken, Kelechi. Is it possible for you to play the audio of the Madam Ife just talked about, Madam Azuka promising Biafrans accountability? Can you play the audio? Is it possible?
I have it here. I can play it.
No, I'm talking if you can project it on the stream.
Okay. Is it me or?
Is it possible? I'm talking about Kelechi.
Kelechi. I can send to Kelechi. So
you can go ahead and ask your question. The fact news.
Play it. You can play it.
Okay. Madam Ife.
Yeah.
This issue that you raised now, so meaning that all the fundraising and all the money they are sending to the gallant men on ground, they are not giving you General Omar does the account information, the feedbacks, the what they are sending and what they are not sending.
No, we never did get none. I can remember even when we told Master Simon when he came to the meeting. We told him, I said, Master Simon, what about giving us statement of account every 2 months? He agreed. He said that is fine. He's going to be doing that. But up to now, up to before we left Umada, nothing like that. Nothing was given to us. I remember when we started, they are giving us, let's say, if Azuka send money, because she's the one sending money. If anybody told you that say Azuka is not the one sending money, they are lying. Because I was there, she would catch the check. I remember when she told me that she was waiting for her husband to bring the check so that she can send the check to the person that is sending money. So I now say to her, then when I said to Matt Simon, why can't they be giving us statement of account? Remove the name. We don't even want to see the name. We don't want to know the account name wherever it's based or wherever. Just give us the statement so that we know that everything is okay. You know, he promised. He said he's going to do that, but later he didn't even tell Azuka to start doing it. I don't know why he didn't want to do it. Only God knows why. Only God knows. Even when he said he's going to do it, he came to the 1,000 men and told them, I will be giving you two more statements. They didn't do it. They didn't.
So, in other words, all the Omadas that are still with Madam Azuka now are still not receiving the account statement of what she is sending on ground.
You know what happened? Like, was it last month or when that we went to 1,000 men? I remember her saying to them that they are going to be sending this to the email, to the website, that they will have it displayed so that people will go there. I checked the website; there's nothing there, so they haven't done nothing. They haven't.
Oh, good. It's okay. Thank you. I yield.
I want to.
Is it possible?
I want to.
Let Madam Ife play from there. Let's her play from there since she has it.
I want to also.
Okay.
Can I respond to the question? Can I follow up the question I rather ask Sister Ife?
Yes, go ahead, please.
I'm among the 1,000 men, and when I brought that question of accountability, would you be surprised to hear what Azuka did? My brother, will you be surprised to hear what she did? She ordered the what's his name?
Azubike.
Not Azubike. What is this man's name? Barawa to block me. They blocked me from that 1,000 men. That was what Azuka did because I asked accountability. She blocked me from that platform. So I want.
Okay, if you please play the voice, let's see.
Okay. Sorry. So.
Mazi, Ken, Yeah, you wanted to say something. Maybe you can say before she got ready.
Yeah, I thought you were saying we should just use 1 minute to round up before you close up the program for today. So
Yeah.
what I just want to say to Biafrans is we know that when the Eastern Security Network was inaugurated, Onyendu made that known to all Biafrans that they are an independent body and not IPOB members. So on that they are volunteers, that we are the people who are going to fund them, that we are the people that are going to take care of their social welfare and everything that they needed. So I'm just trying to tell the Biafrans, as we are asking for accountability, and the Biafrans, some people are seeing it as if we are fighting against the struggle or fighting against an individual, Simon Ekpa, or a particular group. They should also know that their 1 naira or their $1 or their €5 that they are putting into this struggle is not being contributed for an individual. It's being contributed for that very ESN that Onyendu made us to know that they are an individual, that they are they are just a private body, not an IPOB, and we have to fund them. So they should know. So anybody that is coming to, let me just say what is happening now in the autopilot with Simon Ekpa and Madam Azoka, that they are trying to defend the fund that have been risen for the ESN. So
I want you to make your connection with the threatening of
yes,
the Eastern
I'm coming to that place. So the people have to know that before we come out to start saying what we are saying, is just because the men in the bush are not being taken care of. And on that very regard, the money that our people have contributed for them to be taken care of is now the money that they are using now. Simon Ekpa and his cohorts are using now to threaten them, because the camps have been divided. He have bought some of them up. So the whole Biafrans have to look into this very issue, because it's a critical issue that somebody who volunteered himself, his life, to die for Biafra, to fight and die. Some have died already, and some are just like dead among the living. They are on hideout. So people should think very, very well to know that we are not here to run somebody down or to propagate something that is against any human being. Rather, we are here to make people know that the Eastern security, their lives are in danger because of what Simon Ekpa is doing. This is just what I want to let them know. Thank you very much.
Okay, if we play the voice notes,
okay,
and then Prince, make your last remark.
The laid down principles of Manzin and the Kano. How can somebody contribute?
Please start it slowly.
Because I'm afraid we have been contributing, but a lot of people are, that diverting our money to another thing, doing what is not supposed, using it for their own selfish interests, using it for their stomach, using houses and all that. So I want to see this 1,000, how many thousand men? Hello? I want to be involved so that I will be able to supervise what I'm doing, that knowing that what is happening or what I'm doing, not like that of a group of chicken to shame them. So I don't want this kind of a thing again. I want people with a serious mind, serious business, that is serious on what we're doing. So please, I need the help. I want to participate immensely in this issue, because I want to be one of the major sponsors of what is happening. I want the Onion to be free. I want our leader to be free. And I want us to be free as a race from this hand of this ganja weed.
Okay, my brother, thank you very much for your contribution. And this is a topic that I love so much. The issue of 1,000 men and women is a steady flow cash. The steady flow cash, in a sense that people will be contributing on this channel. It's like automatic, which also I am part of the people who is contributing on the 1,000 men and women. The amount there is $100, but the home owners have already taken it down that if you will be able to afford $50, then we can do that. So we don't just need 1,000, we need more, because that is a steady cash that will be flowing there. Now, in terms of accountability, there in equality, transparency, and accountability. Once you do your part, our men on the ground will get their welfare because they are paying the ultimate price. We also want to take care of their families because they have wives. A lot of them have wives. A lot of them have children. I know these children, they go to school. And you know, in the Nigerian government, before you...
Why did you guys told me? Why did you guys told me that I'm muted? My goodness.
Thank you very much for your contribution. And this is the
Yeah,
topic
I think you need to forward it.
the issue of 1,000 men and women is a steady flow cash. The steady flow cash here says that how people will be contributing on this channel. It's like automatic, which also I am part of the people who is contributing on the 1,000 men and women. The amount there is $100, but the homeowners have already taken it down that if you are able to afford $50, then we can do that. So we don't just need 1,000, we need more because that is a steady cash that will be flowing there. Now, in the
This thing is repeating itself. It's not what we need. It's not this one.
The 1,000 men and women is where you are going to have a guarantee.
It is.
Transparency and accountability.
It's not what we need.
It is.
It's not.
But can you fast forward it?
It's repeating itself. Please, that's what it's not what we need.
What are the transparency? So I have to put a call through. My name is Honorable Azuka Charles Swanko. The Wanda of Biafra land. Yes, what Odin Kama is telling you guys is very, very true. There has to be accountability and transparency in whatever anybody is doing, because without it, there is nothing. You will not have that trust. People will not have that trust on you. People will not trust to give you anything or entrust anything on your hands. And that is why the Umada of Biafra land have, gone through a lot. Everything that has happened. We've heard the voice of our people, our men, the gallant men and women who are out there fighting for us. We have heard everything. In fact, we've heard like 80% of what they are passing through. And no matter swore by their ancestors that we must make sure that every money that is given to us or given to these men are spent and given to them accordingly. That every money that is given to these men, because they are the one that matters. They are the one who are fighting for us. They are the one who has been paying ultimate price for this struggle or for this nation, Biafra. They are the one who has given everything. I wish each and every one of you have been able to listen to them and heard what has been going on. There has been a lot of mistrust from east, west, north, and south. Those that Onyendu handed over never delivered. Those that Onyendu handed over to get to a place where he is right now, because I call it handover. I don't call it any other thing than handover for now until he comes back. Because when he comes back, things are not going to be the way it used to be before. But we, the Umadas, are just like his foreigners. Because we've sworn that we must make sure that all the principles that he sets must be followed. Every
everything that he laid down must be followed. Whether you're a woman or you're a man, in this struggle must follow the laid down principles of Mazin and the Kanu and nothing more. We cannot give more and we cannot give less because we believe that he has done, he has given, he has done everything for us. So we've heard the men, we've heard everything. We've heard even those he had trusted and given everything to disappointed him. And we vowed, and we vowed to make sure that these men are taken care of because they are the one who matters. And we'll be making sure that we get to them and deliver the same message to everyone that is involved that Umada or Biafra land are here. So, brothers and sisters, I want to tell you from every part of the world that you are to listen and hearken to the voice of Umada because every penny that you've given us must be spent accordingly. And there has to be a transparency and accountability, just like I've said before, that every money that you've given will be sent to the men on the ground because that's the one that matters here. And Umada will in turn return that accountability, that trust, that transparency that you are expecting from us. You must know what you are using the money for. You must know that the men that you've given this money was delivered to them. You must know that every penny that you've given is spent accordingly. So, brothers and sisters, I want to urge each and every one of you to still have that hope, to have that trust, to have that faith that everything has not gone wrong, or everything that has gone wrong is now made whole, and we will deliver the way you expected. So please, all we are asking for you is to remember that the Fulanis are everywhere, that the Fulanis are now trying to Islamize and Islamize us, that the Fulanis, the Janjaweeds, are there to tear down, take over our land. But we will not allow that to happen because we know that those men out there have sworn. And we should know the courage that I've seen in these men. These men are ready to give everything they have. They're ready to fight. They're ready to give their last breath.
This is not the exact message
to make sure that they secure that land. So let us support them and give them everything it takes to make sure that Biafran nation.
Should I close that then?
Thank you so very much.
This is not the exact message that we want. Where she talks accountability.
Yeah, that is the message that we want because this was the time that I invited that somebody.
You can hear that.
We're having a program. So somebody asked a question. He wants to be contributing on the Eastern Security Network, but he wouldn't want something that happened during the DOS.
Can you hear that now? I've paused it.
So it is what we are looking for. You can see where they promised that they are going to be transparent and accountability. Even with the circle of the 1,000 men and women that they promised, accountability is not there, which was on the 11th of February 2023, a meeting was held. I was not. Before then, the promises that they gave, they are not keeping it. even to the circle of Omada, they are not keeping it. So this is part of the evidence to show to Biafrans because they are looking for evidence. And Ambrose, please, about the Eastern Security Network being threatened by Simon, because I want to back it up with a voice note of Simon Eber. Can you pick on this? And then we call it a day.
I thought I was going to speak too for a minute.
Oh, sorry, sir. Yeah,
okay,
it's true.
All right. You see, the reason why we are doing all we are doing is because we want to get our freedom. And according to how Nigeria is programmed and designed, your freedom can only come by force. That was why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu decided to constitute the ESN. The ESN is supposed to precede the actual collection of people who are going to take the freedom of Biafra from the hands of the Nigeria forces and the occupying forces. But we have discovered that over time, as soon as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition, and after Simon took over, along the line, when these people were being introduced to him, we thought it was going to be to strengthen these people and make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's legacy is not destroyed or disrupted. But what you have been seeing recently,
whose people been introduced to who?
The ESN members were being introduced to Simon and Azuka,
okay,
by you guys, okay. And then suddenly we now begin to see the division. Now, as at this time, not to go too much about details, as at this time, ESN is now a divided camp where Simon and Azuka have their faction that they are sponsoring against the other people who are not loyal. As of today, one of our members, one of the ESN members, one of the ESN commanders' camp was invaded today. As much as about last week also, Simon threatened that guy and said that if he doesn't return the tools, he should get ready for what is coming. And as of today, that guy's camp was invaded. About 10 Hilux vans and their stooges in it. And these are the things, these are very worrying signs and evidences that we have. And from the mouth of the commander himself, in fact, as it was happening, he was calling and saying this is happening right now. And we should not forget that Simon himself actually threatened this guy 2 weeks ago that if he doesn't return those tools. Now, these are tools that he is supposed to use based on the fact that this guy has been working assiduously, from the time of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu until now. And because he's not towing their line of loyalty as they define their own loyalty, they actually told him to return those stuff. Even if he had his men killed on that day, he was actually telling Simon on that broadcast, in that meeting, that 2 of his men were dead. Simon never cared about the dead men. He never cared about, he didn't talk about it up to today. He never asked them, how far the men who are dead? Have you contacted the families? Have you, those ones in the hospital, what is going on with them? He has not asked anything. Rather, he's sending his stooge and Butuzo and Holy Ghost to threaten the guy that he should return those tools. Remember, he told Holy Ghost to collect that stuff from him. And now these guys have been threatening him. In fact, the same caterpillar, they said that he's a criminal, that he's not, he's a criminal and all of that, and that he doesn't have a camp. And as of today's success, and Co have been threatening that guy, telling him that they know his camp, they know his camps and all of that. They're going to come after him and all of that. And today, the guy who was being threatened by Simon 2 weeks ago, his camp has been invaded. Thank God he wasn't there when that thing happened. But now, this is how ugly the situation is becoming. Now, it worries me that Biafrans are actually emotionally disconnected from truth, and they are only looking at, persons rather than looking at substance, the collective interest of everybody. Now, you can imagine your brother or your sister being in the bush right now and being killed like bushmeat, people who are supposed to be securing our land, Mazen Namdekan constituted, who are supposed to be securing us and securing our people back home. And yet, the activities of Simon is causing these men. Remember the other time he told Nigerian military to come with their helicopters. If they should come, they will see what will happen to them in Biafra land. They still came the next day with their helicopters and everything, and they shot at the people. Nothing happened. Nobody said anything about it. And it is worrying that Biafrans have become too stupid, that I don't know whether we are all under spell, that we see the truth. We just want to be sentimental. We embrace evil. Our men are dying. Over time, Simon boasts about how we are formidable and how we are secure. Yet, Nigerian military is coming and killing our men. From that evidence, you saw that this guy, 2 men were killed that day. Simon never said anything about it. It was normal. They should be killed. And on that day, he was telling all of them to go to one camp under Butuzo, in Imo State. To go to, all of them should move in there, including those ones who are resisting his form of loyalty, his autocratic approach to this thing. He was telling all of them to go down there to that place. Why is he telling all of them leave all their states and go down there? What is the motive when he knows that these guys are already after one another based on how he has created division? Now he has succeeded in dividing, just like he came all over, in spite of the fact that Mazen Namdekan made us understand that he doesn't have power on the issue of currency. He came and was making sure that he forced the people to print currency that would have his face and other people. Now for ESN also, he now has come to everything Mazen Namdekan have said is being destroyed, and everybody is here running their emotional program, abusing people, insulting people, and Mazen Namdekan's legacy is being rubbished. And yet people don't think that they should be reasonable to understand that this thing is not about one person. We have idolized people, we have glorified people, and we have allowed this thing to destroy what we're doing. Mazen Namdekan's legacy is being destroyed. ESN is threatened. Now, today, that camp has been invaded. These people's lives are in trouble. They're in trouble, in danger.
All right, let me play the voice note of Simon Ekpa threatening these very gallant men that we're talking about, and which, of course, I take my time to...
And Holy Ghost and Butuzo, these 3 people, and their are haunting other people who are supposed to be together playing the role that Mazen Namdekan have given to them. Today, all in our eyes, in our very eyes, and we keep telling Biafrans, and yet they don't see the need for them to stand up courageously and speak out. And that would haunt you, all of you out there who are taking for granted what we are saying and thinking that everything is about politics and everything is about running your mouth and just talking against people. No matter what they say, you just want to castigate them because somebody have, rubbished them to you. It will haunt you. I tell you, it will haunt you. Thank you so much.
All right. We wouldn't have much time to play that very voice note, but if anybody cares, those who stand on the side of the truth, to go to Maz Odinkeman Candle and watch a program which title is Imminent War Within ESN Looming Under Simon Ekpa, Madam Azoka Charles Wankwo, and also Charles Wankwo, etc. This is the title, Imminent War Within ESN Looming Under Simon Ekpa, Madam Azoka, and co. Just go there, you are going to get all this fact. Let's go to Prince. Make your closing remarks. So that we
Thank you so much. I want to thank all of you that were able to participate here today on this hallowed platform where we have only spoken nothing but the truth. I want to give glory to God Almighty for making it happen. Now, just a few things to touch on. I hope I'm still within 45 seconds. Right. I need you to know that everything Simon Ekpa has accused US of is what Simon Ekpa is doing and doing worse of today. Some people would want to say, leave Simon Ekpa alone and go and do this and that and that. Well, our main target is the contraption called Nigeria. Our main target is the Federal Terrorist Republic of Nigeria. And I can assure you, Simon Ekpa, as an agent, and I can prove it, as an agent of Federal Republic Terrorist of Nigeria, have become also a threat to Biafra and the Biafran people. What is happening today is a proof for Simon to even have the cheek to begin to threaten ESN members to the extent, and I can quote his words, if you don't return our thing or whatever things, yeah, we after before is it on or before Thursday? He used, there was a particular Thursday he mentioned, we will stop at nothing at getting our stuff. Now, we will stop at nothing means we're gonna kill you if need be. That means Simon is now actually clearly threatening to kill Biafrans, ESN, people who have actually volunteered to work for us, people who he himself had accepted that he gave or he gifted our material. The material belongs to us, Biafrans, not to Simon. So Simon is now saying, because you're no longer working according to my dictates, I'm going to kill you if you refuse to give back what I paid for. He's now claiming it to be his own. Now, I don't know much about anybody, and I don't really care so much to know. What's important to me is free Mazin and Bikano, let's get Biafra. But I gathered that there's a guy called Butuzo, who is part of the ESN. And from all indication, I heard that Simon actually criticized China Sanworu of using this Butuzo or something like that in attacking some of.
Butuzo killed Double Lion. He killed
right. But today, this Butuzo is working for Simon. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, the same guy who was used by Chinasa to kill our men.
All right. Well, that's just to prove to you that I am not too involved, but when I get information, I like to verify them. So, and can I send the message to Simon? Simon, you're playing a very, when you kill a Biafran, I'm telling you, both the natural and spiritual forces will be against you. You just don't understand what Biafra represents. You are the one telling us that DOS are now agents that are killing ESM members. You are the one telling us that Ifeanyi Ejiofor was the eye of Nigeria, and they are the ones now working together to kill our gallant men. Simon Ekpa, right now, you are doing worse of Ejiofor and DOS put together. Ofonogu Gaijaga. Ofonogu belongs to Chukwu Okike. Ofonogu, we have Jemana Biafra. Ofonogu. But let's keep the faith. Let's keep going, because all these things must happen before we see God. It will seem impossible for us to give God the glory, for us to know that it is only through God it came. Because if it seemed possible, people like Simon Ekpa will steal the glory. Many people will want to steal the glory. So it's going to seem impossible, as it looks now, for God to walk with the few and deliver Biafra, and then we'll say, all glory be to God Almighty. But we are ready to do the work. I thank you.
All right, thank you very much. The fact news, please take on your time and let's go for closing remark.
Okay, comrade, thank you. Mr. Prince, your words are touching. Your words, it breaks a heart of a stone. Simon has threatened our gallant men that on before Thursday, if they don't return the tools. Today, Kelechi is saying that the camp was invaded today. These are for record purposes. We deal with facts. We are not here to lie against anybody. Biafrans, go and ask Simon to come out and clarify all these allegations that are on air, because nobody has monopoly of violence. I'll end it here. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm going to hand the microphone to Kelechi. My work is done here till we see again, because this very program that we did today, we still have a lot in the package on the very program that anchored by Kelechi Ambrose on the 15th March of this very year, 2023, which the title is Autopilot has been corrupted, but Biafra must come. We still have a lot in the package. So thank you very much, my brothers and comrades, for joining us on this very program. And Wanda Ifi and the viewers, and also the people who are also sharing this very message for all Biafrans to listen. Thank you very much, Kelechi.
Unmute.
We can. Thank you so much, sorry, I didn't know it was muted. Thank you so much for it was a great one. In fact, we have really talked a lot, and as Mazi said, it was actually a recapping of what we actually discussed initially on the 15th. This program is meant to buttress on some stuff so that Biafrans, this is very good that we sensitize you on these matters, not because we don't have our program. As you heard Prince said initially, we have a strong program that is on ground. Now, this time around, we have decided to, coming from all over the world with our professionalism, we are putting a particular structure that would make Biafra not be on one person's shoulder, where the person will now get too pompous and
What happened? Can we still hear?
Master Kelechi, I think they kicked him out. He's going to come back again. Like I said, Biafrans, there's a lot to analyze and to interview, because this very program, like we said, being anchored on the 15th, and you can go and watch the full program so that you can also have questions that you can be able to ask Simon Heba and Madam Azoka. And also put those things on the writing so that when we begin to do more analysis on this, you can also be following up on what we are talking about. And Mazi Kelechi, we are still expecting you to come back so that you can end the program, because actually the program has ended. So we're just starting. We are just starting the program. All right. So I think what we have to do is to just click on the right part and then leave, because the program has ended.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your time. Let me remind them that let me quickly remind them that we are Biafrans. Biafrans come to stay. We are not those people that you talk rubbish about and they disappear. Biafrans are here for the duration. We'll be here beyond Biafra. Thank you so much, and goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well done.
Goodbye.